Hello everyone! Today we're introducing our newest hero from the Cadia Riverlands, Suyou, the Mask of the Immortal. Suyou is a true master of the battlefield with 2 forms and essentially 6 skills to dominate his enemies. Mask of the Immortal, Suyou. Passive, Transient Immortal. After tapping any skill, Suyou will take his mortal form and gain extra movement speed. After holding any skill, Suyou will go into his immortal form, increasing his basic attack range and damage reduction, and gaining extra damage reduction based on his extra physical attack. First skill, Blade Surge. Suyou throws his weapon in the target direction, dealing damage to enemies in its path. He blinks to catch the weapon and unleash a slash behind him, dealing damage to enemies hit. Holding and releasing Suyou's first skill will cause him to charge in the target direction, dealing damage to enemies in his path. The charge distance increases with the hold time. Second skill, Soul Sever. Suyou performs a sweeping attack with his weapon, dealing physical damage to enemies in a fan-shaped area, and additional damage based on the target's lost HP after a short delay. Holding and releasing Suyou's second skill will cause him to perform 3 cleaves in a fan-shaped area, dealing physical damage with the first 2 hits and more physical damage with the last hit while restoring his HP. Third skill, Evil Queller. Suyou glides backward as he swings his weapon, dealing damage to enemies and slowing them. Holding and releasing Suyou's third skill will fire an arrow, dealing physical damage to enemies hit. When ganking with Suyou, hide in a bush and hold his first skill to charge out with a devastating surprise attack. Follow up with his hold second skill for heavy damage, then a basic attack, and finally retreat with his third skill. Suyou can use his hold third skill to poke the enemy before engaging, then use his hold first skill when it's time to go in and CC the backline targets. Use his hold second skill to deal lots of damage to the enemy team, and tap his third skill to retreat before they can fight back. As soon as his skills come off cooldown, use his tap first skill and second skill to finish off a target. Suyou is good at snowballing advantages to quickly extend a lead. But unlike traditional assassins, Suyou doesn't have high burst damage, and it's hard to maximize his damage. Upgrade Suyou's second skill at level 1, and upgrade his first skill at level 2. Then prioritize leveling his second skill, followed by his third skill, since most of his damage comes from his second skill. Tapping Suyou's skills will put him in his assassin state and grant extra movement speed, so it's best to switch to this form when roaming the map. Suyou's second skill can be held to unleash a 3-hit attack, but it can be interrupted by CC and dodged with mobility skills, so use the tap version of the second skill instead against enemies with CC or mobility. We recommend the Assassin emblem with Thrill, Weapons Master, Lethal Ignition talents. In this setup, Thrill and Weapons Master talents provide physical attack to boost Suyou's damage, while also increasing his damage reduction in immortal form. And Lethal Ignition works perfectly with Suyou's multi-hit attacks to add some burst damage. We recommend the following equipment build for Suyou as a jungler, focused around damage and cooldown reduction. Hunter Strike and War Axe are Suyou's core equipment, granting the bulk of the damage and cooldown reduction that Suyou needs, while their unique passives synergize nicely with his skill mechanics. Queen's Wings can provide some needed survivability and give Suyou the ability to flip a fight at low HP. Grab Blade of Despair and Malefic Roar in the late game to top off Suyou's damage with more physical attack while also boosting his damage reduction. We recommend this equipment build if Suyou is taking the EXP lane for a balance of damage and survivability. War Axe will give Suyou a decent amount of self-sustain, while Brute Force Breastplate will improve his survivability, and its passive effect is great for Suyou's sustained playstyle. We recommend the Retribution Battle spell for Suyou in the jungler role where he can excel. Suyou can also take Vengeance for more survivability in a fighter role. Suyou is good at closing gaps and chasing down enemies, making him a good counter to heroes who lack mobility, like Xavier and Ixia. Because Suyou has a lot of hold skills, heroes with CC like Badang and Melissa can easily interrupt his combos and flow. Allies with good CC like Tigreal can lock down targets for Suyou so he can maximize his damage. While supports like Rafaela will greatly boost Suyou's sustained combat with their healing and movement speed buffs. Suyou has 3 normal skills instead of an ultimate, making him one of the few junglers with this setup. Suyou can unlock all of his skills at level 3, meaning he can start ganking a level earlier. With enough cooldown reduction, Suyou has the tools to quickly engage and disengage, poke the enemy with minimum risk, and help his team break the enemy's formation. Suyou, Mask of the Immortal, is coming on the 21st of September. Get 30% off launch week. Grab his venerated Vigilance skill for only 51 diamonds in the first 14 days. We hope everyone will enjoy this dynamic hero. And until next time, we'll be seeing you in the Land of Dawn.